this video, we will try to understand some more applications of nanoparticles in the field of medicine. Imagine if I tell you that nanoparticles could be used in surgery. Yes, you can indeed use nanoparticles like gold nanoshells as flesh welders. Now you will say that what do you mean by flesh welders? So you know that while surgeries are performed, many a times to sew up the surgical sites, they make use of sutures. So if I tell you that instead of using sutures, you can make use of gold-coated nanoshells. Because these gold-coated nanoshells, when they are applied to regions where there are cuts and then exposed to infrared laser, you will see that due to the heat generated, the sides are going to weld together on their own. So actually, you don't have to stitch the regions using sutures. And the difficulties in stitching or blood leaks which are caused normally during restitching, all of this could be avoided. Isn't that really very interesting? Other than this, you can also make use of nanoparticles as nano devices. Now what do you mean by this? So nanoparticles could be injected into human body and you can trace it. So they could be agents for tracking and for imaging. Like for example, you can make use of C13 atoms, which is an isotope of carbon, and this could be injected into the human body and could be made to go and work in a specific organ or a tissue mass if they are coated with antibodies which are specific to certain cells. Also, you can monitor the movement of these particular isotopes if you want to detect how a treatment is working. If there is any problem in specific regions of the body, these could be used as tracking agents, especially for techniques like MRI, where you inject chemicals inside the human body and you track their movement. Similarly, when you perform angiography and you want to identify if there are blockages in the arteries, you can make use of nanoparticles as the tracking devices. So, along with tracking, you can also do imaging using nanoparticles. When tracking comes into the picture, you can determine the drug distribution, metabolism of substances that is taking place inside the body. You can also use nanoparticles to dye the cells, that is, to stain the cells. Because nanoparticles, like quantum dots, they can penetrate into the cell wall of the cells, and obviously you can make them specific for a certain type of a cell using antibodies. So these quantum dots will go and bind themselves to the cell walls of your target cells, and when excited with a specific wavelength of light, they are going to give out luminescence. And this can be used for effective imaging purposes. Isn't that interesting? And let me tell you that these techniques are going to be cheaper than actually using fluorochromes, which could be very, very expensive. Let me tell you that nanoparticles have also been utilized for photodynamic therapy, which we discussed when we spoke about treatment of cancer. Nanoparticles could be delivered to specific tumorigenic cells, and once they move inside the tumorigenic cells, you can excite these nanoparticles using specific wavelength of light. And guess what? When they are excited, they are going to generate a lot of heat. And what does that do? That is going to damage all the organic compounds which may be present in these cancerous cells, like their enzymes, the nucleic acid, which means that these cancerous cells are now going to be destroyed. Because you are making use of light to activate the nanoparticles for therapeutic purposes, you name it as photodynamic therapy. What's exciting about this technique is that you can make this specific for cancerous cells by tagging the nanoparticles with antibodies which are specific for cancer-based antigens. And at the same time, once they destroy the tumorigenic cells, they are not going to lead to any toxicity as well. Isn't that interesting as compared to the chemotherapeutic agents? Because we know that majority of the chemotherapeutic agents that we make use of are going to have lot of toxic side effects. They are also known to cause harm to the healthy cells. Imagine that this technique of using nanoparticles for this purpose is not even going to harm your healthy cells. That brings in a lot of scope for this technique in cancer therapy. In the next video, we will try and understand how we can make use of nanoparticles as neuroelectronic interfaces and how we can use them for several cell repair mechanisms.